Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It is gonna be Ketroc's bot taking on Sharkbot. So a Terran versus Protoss, however, more importantly, a bot versus bot match, and I think this should be a good one. Eyes are kind of on Ketroc's bot at the minute, just with how good it's looking, as always, and much more fun to watch than it used to be, or at least my first few games. But that was years ago at this point. So Ketroc's bot showing us a lot of diversity in play and whatnot, and Sharkbot, on the other hand, showing us that you can be a late game Protoss bot, and we will see how well that's going to work out against Ketroc's bot, which also has formidable late game. So ladies and gentlemen, as we get a bit of a proxy going down, make sure to go ahead, slap that like button. If we can hit 71 likes on this video, that would be amazing. You guys always knock it out of the park as far as this YouTube botting community goes. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that bell icon to get notified whenever I announce tournaments or just put up new videos, occasionally live stream. You can also leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these late game bots. That does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, we will see, as we do have this proxy starting up for Ketroc's bot. However, this probe is on it. It is zapping away, killing off that SCV and denying the proxy. We've seen another bot, actually in the finals of Pro Bots, I believe, Benbot, that does this a lot. However, Benbot seems to have more success with this, as Sharkbot has that probe out, and it has delayed the bunker actually getting up. So far, a very strong shutdown by Sharkbot. It's getting out a Stalker. It's already got out a Zealot. That Zealot can try and chase the Marines. We'll see if it has any luck. In fact, that Zealot is just going to go skirt, or right on by. That's a bit of a mistake, I think. However, maybe it's not. Who knows what the right call is here. We do have Ketroc pulling more SCVs into this, not actually resuming building of the bunker, so I can only assume that one of these other SCVs has been assigned to continue the building of that. So that's interesting there. However, the proxy will get up, it seems. While this is going on, we've got another probe being a jerk, going for blood. It's actually already killed one SCV. It almost gets the other one. I guess Sharkbot's SCVs are just programmed to attack Terran structures. This Zealot is now running across the map, so this is an option Protoss can use when it comes to trying to take down Terrans. And what a start this game is off to here, as the Zealot runs on in. Is Ketroc's bot going to pull SCVs to deal with this? That Zealot's kind of being baited in. The SCVs are microing well against this. However, I think this Zealot is going to get some serious kills. While this hard contain is going on for Ketroc's bot, it proxied the factory. It's got 2 siege tanks locking down Sharkbot's base. And so this Zealot has got a lot of heavy lifting to do to actually give Sharkbot a chance in this game, because breaking that contain won't be easy. It is, however, denying lots of mining time. The Zealot is gonna potentially get some kills here. A little bit of weird control going on. However, I think the Zealot is getting a lot of work done. 5 kills so far, denying lots of mining time. The micro between these two bots is so weird. That Zealot is just denying so much mining time, as Ketroc's SCVs are like, no, I can't. I have to run from the Zealot. We do see this barracks is now floating off. Sharkbot's going to have an incredibly tough time breaking this, however, as it's getting out an Immortal. Now its Robo's done, but it has got 3 siege tanks to break, and siege tanks are infamously hard to deal with when it comes to being a bot, I guess. The Zealot is now attacking away on this SCV. It's getting repaired, however, it will die despite its friend's effort to save it. That Zealot has also regained some shields, so it's not being dealt with. So, yeah, Ketroc's bot not having behavior specifically programmed to deal with this, not making any more units back at home either. This is really problematic. Sharkbot is trying to break down that natural, however, 3 tanks it's going to make this almost impossible, I think, for a bot to break. Like, even if you committed fully, this would be difficult to break, and bots don't commit fully, so we see Stalkers getting deleted. This Zealot is denying mining time, so getting some counter damage done, almost burning down this refinery, crazily enough, and it may actually burn that down. Will SCVs be pulled to repair it? No, they're actually afraid of that Zealot, and that refinery will go down. Ketroc Spot wants to rebuild that, actually. It's like, I kind of need that. We see Sharkbot saying, thanks, I'll be back for more in 2 minutes. I don't know what that's exactly about. This Zealot is still doing lots of work, not targeting the mules. So they're still mining for Ketroc Spot. Sharkbot wants an expansion, but that is quarter past not happening. And oh man, is it just going to start rallying probes to their death again and again? Oh, this game is full-blown bot. Just bots being bots, really. They are incredibly well developed, however, you cannot program for every situation, and this is one of them. Like, the logical thing would be for the SCVs to all pull and kill the Zealot, but Ketroc hasn't programmed that. Instead, he's got some seemingly clever behavior to keep SCVs safe from general harassment, but in this case, that is not dealing with the little bit of a threat. That Zealot has eaten a couple more SCV drills. It is getting down in HP, so it may eventually die. This contain is still going on as Sharkbot is just sacrificing more and more probes. It's gonna have 4 immortals out, but it's gonna bankrupt itself if it just keeps trying to break this location. Probe runs back into the main. Sharkbot's in a bit of a loop, it seems, with the Zealot or this probe. I really don't know. The Zealot's at 23 kills. And I really have no idea which bot's going to win this game. I think Ketroc's bot will win, as it is just one Zealot. The Zealot should die eventually. However, Ketroc's bot is also in a very negative loop here, in that it's just trying to make more SCVs despite losing lots of units. The Zealot does take another stab, though. 30 HP is all that's left. And this is one of the more ridiculous bot games I've ever cast. This is just so redonkulous. Sharkbot may eventually run out of workers here. It's got no behavior to say, hey, I've been contained. Stop sending probes to their death. Man, but that is exactly what Sharkbot is trying to do. I thought I'd have, like, alright, a nice, respectful macro game between these two. Instead, it's just ridiculous. And I am here for it. As this Zealot is looking for more SCV kills. Looks like it will get one more, as it's regened most of its shields. Mules are getting dropped. A Cyclone is being produced. However, the Cyclone just gets added to the contain. There's now 5 immortals out. When will Sharkbot decide to break this location? That's the question. Maybe when it runs out of probes and stops being able to expand. It's just horrible, guys. This is just the worst. How many kills does this tank have? 12 and 15. These tanks are in a race as far as who can delete that probe the fastest. Cyclones run on in, trying to be a pain. This is actually baiting Sharkbot down. An immortal could potentially die. Oh no, an immortal did die. Sharkbot's saying lag as it doesn't micro that immortal properly. Another tank is on the way. The Zealot is still there. However, the Zealot seems to have given up almost, but then it gets right back in there, actually, denying more mining time. The Zealot could potentially eventually kill the main base, as it is swiping away on that too. And it really is swiping away on that. This is just so silly. SCVs are like, stay away from the Zealot. The Zealot's like a fox in a hen house, almost unsure of what to do. Another immortal potentially gonna die. No, staying alive. That Cyclone being a pain. The Nexus does get started, although it may actually die. This could be what Sharkbot needs to break on down. It is wandering on top of the siege tanks with a couple of its immortals. The bunker is broken, and Ketroc's contain gets all of a sudden taken down at the 9-minute mark. And this could actually be the saving grace for Ketroc's main base, as now the Cyclone is headed on home. However, it is an injured Cyclone. Is this Zealot going to go out in a blaze of glory? I mean, I don't know what's more glorious than a Zealot with 35 SCV kills. 31, pardon me. However, it could be a Zealot with 31 SCV kills and a Cyclone kill. So we'll see about that. Cyclone's coming on in. This poor Zealot, Bob the Zealot, gonna meet his end as he perishes. There was a recall on the probe by Sharkbot. And okay, what an opening for a bot match. And I think we may head into macro now, as we do have these bots being like, okay, This feels pretty good. I can stretch my legs, walk outside my natural. Just in time for Sharkbot, too, as it was already mined out the smaller patches in its main. Ketroc spot not quite mined those out, seeing as how it had its mining so disrupted. In fact, barely mined at all. The army value is going to be way higher for Sharkbot, as it has actually been making stuff. It's now got that Nexus done, so Ketroc spot's going to have a way to come back in this game. We are seeing an SCV move out, looking for a third base. Probe runs on by, right into a siege tank. Cyclones, or this factory, still producing in the middle of the map. The third Nexus is going on up. And yeah, what a match between these two. I'm glad Sharkbot eventually was able to break that. It kind of got baited out by that Cyclone, but that was enough to give it the confidence to go. It's now going to head into that Stargate, and it does have Warp Prism speed on the way, so we could see one of those Colossus drops that it's so famous for. It's going to take a bit to get there, though, with how low its economy is. Ketroc spot now going to have up that natural command center, getting up double starports on the way. Somehow these bots are affording all this. I guess they're speed mining, helping out a little bit. And then just they're both generally pretty strong macro bots. Yeah, what a match this is so far. Just such craziness for like 9 minutes. And then then we're heading into what should be a lot of fun macro. I do like how fast Ketroc spot goes for the third. It does generally seem better to expand than not to expand in a lot of these cases. We do have that PF going up at the natural. SCV count taking the lead on the probe count. So Sharkbot, maybe not chrono boosting out as many probes as it should do. It's investing in lots of tech too. Ketroc spot now getting up another planetary fortress. And yeah, I am a little concerned that Ketroc spot may just out macro with how fast it does expand. How many probes died? 34 probes died trying to build that Nexus, by the way. That is just ridiculous. We have a Medivac on the way for Ketroc spot. This is one of the cool features for it, that it will make a Medivac and actually utilize that to heal up SCVs. So I could have used one of those a while ago. However, it is a feature of Ketroc spot that it will keep Medivacs on the outskirts of its bases to keep SCVs alive. Very cool behavior. We do, however, have a Phoenix on the way for Sharkbot. That's important, as there is a Banshee on the way. The concern, though, is the presence of Cloak on the way for its opponent, as there is no detection yet. Forge on the way, though, that could lead to a cannon. Sharkbot is gonna have to get up a third eventually. It's starting a long distance mine, which is good. However, how long till it saves up those resources, as it is just making lots of units, kind of doing that thing where a bot tends to cripple themselves a little bit. And that is one of the harder things to program, the logic of when to make your bot to expand. Like, should you have a hard-coded time that it expands, or an available amount of resources in its main or its other bases? Like, there's so many factors when it comes to taking an expansion. We see Sharkbot saying invisible men are good, so it's now firing up an observer. It did already have 2 out already, so pardon me, it did have that detection. That was a mistake on my part. The Banshee does still kill off 5 workers. That's no small amount. There is an observer here, though, so that Banshee does die. Sharkbot saying XD. Ketroc saying, just realizing now these Phoenix aren't hallucinations, so you realize that those were not Haluk. A fleet beacon's on the way for Sharkbot. Ketroc spot is spending so much money on that third, on just turrets. However, it can't afford that with its real strong economy. It's moving out for an attack. This could be risky, though, as there is Phoenix that can lift up these units. There's a boatload of Immortals from the early game. Sharkbot does fire up that third Nexus too, and this could be a big mistake by Ketroc spot. Moving out for an attack here could be throwing away a lot of units. Sharkbot can lift up those Cyclones, and it does. Phoenix, one of the best counters, if not the best counter in the game to Cyclones. There we have it. More liftoffs going down. The Cyclone's trying to deny the Nexus. That's not going to happen. Those siege tanks can be lifted up as well. There is one Immortal being a hero, just stomping on top of those tanks, and those will all die. The Banshee is getting some good work done while this is going on. It got up to 5 kills again, so keeping the probe count down. Sharkbot does repulse that attack with relative ease, though. It's now got that third Nexus on the way. Once that's done, it can start making 3 probes at a time, and its economy can grow. But Ketroc's bot does say, growing economies, sign me up, as it now has that 4th on the way. Getting up Banshee speed, plating, 1-1 upgrades. Going to be going up against Tempest from Sharkbot. And Sharkbot does like those Tempest. It does not like attacking, however. It is the bot that builds 1 million photon cannons and batteries, so it probably will be on the defensive for this game, I imagine. The Tempest and Phoenix, though, will be incredible against the Banshees as long as they control right. The cannons definitely help out, too, as they're cannons in the main. No, there's a lot of batteries, though. And that third is now happily mining for Sharkbot, so that's going to be a big economic boost. Ketroc's bot, though, expanding all over the place. Give it another 5 minutes, and it will have taken probably all the bases on the map. That Sharkbot hasn't claimed anyway. And we'll see if this game comes down to that kind of dilemma for these bots. That is, whether a bot can get up enough bases. Like if Ketroc's bot can deny a 4th or a 5th for Sharkbot, that will really put it on the clock. And oh, look at these beautiful Vikings flying on in. Ketroc's Vikings have a bit of a suicidal tendency. That is such a cool formation. They're flying across the map. They may just be looking to suicide into these Tempest and these Phoenix. There we have the Tempest now shooting away, but yeah, look at that. There's the suicide. However, the injured Tempest is being pulled back. It will make it to the battery. Not in time, though. Another Tempest is being shot at. The battery saves that one, however, so I think that was like 10 Vikings for 1 Tempest, I want to say. 8 Vikings for 1 Tempest. The Banshees also died. Those are all hallucinations. They added it in the last patch. And that's actually an interesting thing when it comes to bot development. For those of you that don't know, there is no way to tell from a bot's perspective, I believe anyway, whether a unit is hallucinated by a Protoss. The only way that you can possibly tell, to my knowledge, and I think we have seen a bot struggle with this in the past, is like even with an observer detecting it, it's not like the state of the unit changes to say hallucinated or something. There's a technical reason behind it, but it is an interesting trick for programmers to have to deal with that. They do take double damage, though, so you can kind of tag units' hallucinations via that. Banshees are now coming on in to hit this third Nexus. This could be really problematic. Sharkbot may actually just lose this base. The Banshees just destroying this Nexus is ridiculous. If Sharkbot loses this, that's going to be a huge blow to its economy. It's just focused on defending at its natural, and it really is grouping up at its natural. And if these Banshees get like 1 or 2 more volleys off on this Nexus, it will perish. A Stalker's trying to be a hero. The Phoenix could be dealing with this, but they are not. And as a result, Sharkbot is going to take a ginormous economic blow, and that is something it cannot afford to deal with. It never got up any batteries, never got up any cannons to defend that location. We see an overcharge go down, making sure these units stay alive. That's important because Sharkbot is not going to be able to make too many more units in this game unless it gets the new Nexus up immediately, as it is just destroying Banshees, destroying Vikings. Ketroc's bot is taking some really poor trades this game. Killing that Nexus, though, it's just such a crippling move. We see 10 Vikings at a time for Ketroc's bot. That's how good its economy is at this point, with just Nexus all over the place. And look at this, Banshees coming on in. The Tempest have to save this. There is no question about it. And Sharkbot is just a little too defensive, well, of its army, but not of its base in this case. It is repositioning towards this third. It is getting up a pylon. We can hope to see a battery and a cannon. And it will need another battery, that's for sure, as it's 15 Vikings against 9 Tempests. Those Vikings have got some beefy upgrades too. And the Tempest are doing good work so far. It is looking like Sharkbot is reassigning to defend this location, though. That's really important. An Immortal being a chonky boy, blocking a cannon, a battery at this third is something we do need to see, though. That's going to be really darn important. And Ketroc Spot's Viking suicides could be a massive factor here too. That is one of the things that it does best. It dives with its Vikings, and it's looking for those trades. The battery is not yet done. If Ketroc Spot takes a fight before the battery is finished, that will be ginormous. If it doesn't, and it dives onto a battery overcharge, it could just throw away, well, maybe not 26 Vikings. It's definitely going to get something, but here we see it. In goes Ketroc Spot. There is that battery now done. The Protoss army is just retreating, though. It's scared. Archons are on top of the Vikings. We do see that suicide, and man, that was a lot of dead Vikings. I think for like 3 dead Tempests, the mothership stayed alive there, and yeah, that was a big attack by Ketroc Spot. It's going to keep playing this game out, though, as it's got so much fuel for its economy. 90 SCVs, the magic number for this bot. It's getting 3/3 upgrades, so it's going to have significant lead on the air upgrades. So we see Sharkbot getting up this 4th base, going to be looking to save that. All the while, there is now a planetary building outside its doorstep. We have probes attacking SCVs. They're going to want to get on, even a cannon shooting this SCV. They're going to want to get on out of there, as that once that planetary starts shooting, it's going to be problematic for Sharkbot. It is getting up this 4th Nexus. It's almost maxed out, so it will take some good trades, potentially. Not making any more Tempests, though, is problematic, as if it doesn't make any more, it will lose potentially an air battle. Stalkers are doing what they can against this planetary. This planetary may just die, actually, as Tempest starts shooting away on it. No Teutonic destabilizers, and in come the Vikings, seizing the opportunity when the Protoss army's out there. We do see a good time warp there. The planetary does fall. That is not a free engagement for Sharkbot, however, and it still isn't making any more Tempest. Sharkbot going to want to get up that 5th base as soon as it can. Its own economy is starting to take off more and more. No batteries, no cannons. There we go. First cannon going up, and a battery wants to go up there, but those immortals, they are saying, you got a permit to build there? So, there we go. Batteries, cannons going up for Sharkbot. We'll see if it gets up the 5th base. It's almost got the money. It does have the money now. No more Tempest is really concerning for me in this, though. It hasn't lost any more yet. It's almost maxed out. I'm still concerned, though. The mothership's being remade. Yeah, this is such a fine line Sharkbot's watching. I'm hoping it survives just to see if it can weather the storm, but all of a sudden in come all these Vikings. There's the Raven there. If this baits out Sharkbot, that's going to be really problematic. Probes take their hatred out on that refinery. Stalkers coming on in. We are seeing Teutonic destabilizers, a new mothership being added in, warp prisms too. And there is High Templar for Psystorm, for feedback on the Vikings. On the Mass Banshee, Ketroc's bot is getting more command centers on the way. It's up to only 1 orbital for now, which is nuts. It's going to look to remedy that, though, to be able to do the mass mule drops that it utilizes. And this game is just awesome through and through. Sharkbot is now maxed out. It has been making some subpar units, I'll say. A lot of probes have been made during this. We see in come the Vikings. No Psystorms being dropped over. The Archons are dealing massive damage to the Vikings. And Ketroc's bot just suicides in there to kill off. Okay, it did kill off 4 of the Tempests. That is actually quite big. So we're seeing a new Tempest get made, a new mothership get made. Sharkbot is actually going to be losing army supply overall with how many probes it's making. So that's going to take away from some of its army's success, take away from all the Tempests that it can rebuild. And who knows, maybe that will open the door for the Banshees. The feedbacks are just beautiful on the Banshees, though. The High Templar's spells being instantaneous is huge. We see 1 Tempest come on in here to help try and deal with these Banshees, and the rest of the army has got to get on down here. No cannons, no batteries just yet to help on out, so probes are dying. We are seeing Tempest kind of being zoned out a little bit, and the Banshees are having free reign on this 5th base. Planetary being established, literally taking all the bases, but Sharkbot's 5th, as The Banshees are still doing more and more work, killing lots of probes. Sharkbot kind of gets pulled in multiple locations here. Like, we saw this earlier in the game where it was really sitting at its natural before it decided to defend on its third. It's sitting at its fourth now before it decides to sit on its fifth. Whatever the qualifications are needed for that. We do see the Vikings coming on in once again. The Archons are getting massive shots off, killing off all the Vikings. However, not before most of the Tempests perish. That may have actually only been about 2 more Tempests that died. The Mothership became toast there, though, and the Banshees are still not being dealt with. No cannons, no batteries. There is, okay, some feedbacks going down. These Banshees may be dealt with now. Will we see some critical batteries and cannons establish this necessary 5th base? Probes are like, hey, that's a planetary. As they run on in there and head on out. Now, Sharkbot's still hanging on. Ketroc's bot trading at half the efficiency. However, it's got, I want to say, double the bases. Maybe double the bases shy of 1. And with killing this Nexus, it is definitely going to be on a better economy, so it can sustain these trades. The Banshees are just wreaking havoc here. And yeah, look at this. So many dead probes. There is potentially going to be a new Nexus built here, which is a necessity. In come the Vikings for another round. However, the Archons are getting big shots off on those Vikings, cutting through them so quickly. The Banshees really are doing most of the work for Ketroc's bot. Will that Nexus be cancelled? Yes, it will, saving critical money for Sharkbot, as the Banshees are now actually moving towards the back of the third, and these Tempests can get shots off. They can kill them off. However, the damage they're getting done before that is quite big. There is no new Nexus getting established here. It's just so difficult to micro against Ketroc's Banshees. I've tried playing Protoss against Ketroc's Banshees, guys. There's actually a video on this channel. And the thing that I found that worked was just deal damage to it early on and actually just build tons and tons of static defense. Otherwise, you just got picked to pieces. This one Banshee is being a pain. There is an Oracle Revelation, which is a really cool add-on by the Protoss bot. However, now we're seeing Sharkbot really out of position. It is trying to establish cannons and batteries at this base, which it needs so critically. It's coming on out, charging on out. The Tempest are a little vulnerable, and the Vikings are getting a much better angle of attack this time, as they're out of range of most of the Archons. Battery overcharge gets popped. However, there's only like 1 Tempest left alive. The Vikings are going to retreat. Feedbacks and everything for the Protoss galore going down. Sharkbot's just trying to hold on, but the Banshees are doing so much work. 38 Banshees and almost 100 Vikings have died this game. But when Ketroc's bot has got literally all the bases, it can now be dropping mules all the time. That doesn't matter. Sharkbot needs this Nexus up, and time is starting to run out for it. It's still got plenty of minerals at this location, and it is actually chasing this army down, but it's not like it's making lots of new Tempests. It's actually taking big losses to these Banshees, as losing the Tempest and the Phoenix Anti-Air is a massive, massive loss for it. The Mothership doing what it can. The Nexus has yet to get reestablished due to the presence of a command center again. Ketroc's bot's expanding behavior is just so aggressive. The Vikings are coming on in once more. It only takes a minute for Ketroc's bot to build enough new Vikings, and this could be it for Sharkbot as it loses all its anti-air. And after possibly one of the most wacky starts ever, this is such a good game here. We are seeing Sharkbot build up extra static defense at its third to hold on. I don't think it's going to be able to hold on there, though, as it needed the 5th, and it got so close to it. It had the Nexus up. I'm wondering if there's a bug or something as far as, well, maybe not a bug, just how the programming works for Sharkbot. Like, why it didn't establish it to place its army to defend that Nexus is an interesting design choice. And the delay on getting up the cannons, it did try multiple times, but it didn't prioritize it maybe as much as possible. And if it had a 5th, it very well could have won this game. However, you give a bot, I don't know, 10 bases against 4, even the likes of Sharkbot can't contend with that efficiency. If it got 1 more base, maybe it could have. But now it's just being picked apart by the Banshees. It's incredible just how well Ketroc's bot plays. I'll definitely cast more Sharkbot versus Ketroc bot in the future, as that was just a wacky game. And we now have probes being escorted in the prism, which is very bizarre. Just trying to do some fancy micro, make the probes absorb shots, I guess, which is darn weird. That is going to be that for this one, though, ladies and gentlemen. And we see the insulting Manor Mules stealing the last resources of Sharkbot. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this one, though, I certainly did. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and if you do want to support these daily bot videos, consider becoming a YouTube member. It goes a long way, and you can get various perks using that join button. And yeah, what a match this was. This was phenomenal from start to finish. You know it's a good cast when you talk 30 minutes without thinking about it at all. The Vikings kind of just hanging out. Banshees slowly set about doing their work. And of course, Ketroc's bot takes the base. GG.